why we don't drink during the show. This is why we don't drink during the show. Okay, so that's not right either now, if it's picking up audio. So that's got to be picking up audio from somewhere else. That's why.
On the hot track, melt like it's hot wax. Put it out, all the stores, bet you can shop that. Leave a nigga with a hot hat, frontin' like bad boy ain't got tracks. Nigga, stop that. There's no guy slicker than this young fly nigga.
All right. There's Puff Daddy. Yeah, you gotta be careful with what we're playing there. People saying that there was no audio coming through. I think we have solved that problem for the video portion now. See, here's the thing: is like. So when Kevin was here, I would have Kevin do the audio, or do the video, and then Kevin wouldn't switch the cameras. So like it wouldn't be on the person that was talking, even like now. So I go, I'll just do it. Well, what happens is I'm hitting so many buttons over here. Sometimes I fat finger things, and I want to muting something. The mute
button, okay.
And so that's where that may have happened. Puff Daddy, I have to be a little careful on some of the language in this song. But there's a whole lot of stuff, and we had brought this up a while ago. Now, I'm hearing that he may be behind potentially the poisoning, as they're saying now, of Jamie Foxx. He may be behind the death of his ex-girlfriend, or ex-wife, I don't know, he has children with, who she just sort of mysteriously deteriorated and died. Then there's people who are accusing him of all kinds of sexual trafficking. Sex trafficking. But here's the weird part. They raid his house. And they raid his house because he's got videotape. And I don't know if it's pedophilia or not in terms of, I don't know how old these people were. But why keep the evidence around? It's almost like you want to get caught.
Right.
In some weird way.
At the same time, though, when you think you're that high up that you're untouchable,
I guess.
And I think in a lot of cases, like when this broke yesterday, a lot of people who are very cynical about it, and I'm not saying I believe this, I'm just saying like what they said that the FBI and the likes were not going to collect evidence, but they were going to suppress evidence. In other words, make Diddy the fall guy, take the evidence out that could implicate other people who are high in power or higher up than Diddy is, make him look like the fall guy.
Yeah, but okay. Well, maybe.
Meanwhile, he's out to some country that doesn't extradite people back to the U.S.
Barbuda.
Is that what it's called?
He's in Barbuda, which is near Antigua. Yeah.
Is that where that wine we had earlier came from?
Yes, I think it was a Barbudan wine.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I think it was a delicious Barbudan wine. Now we're going to try Jeffrey Rogers to see, because I know he's been following this and following it on TMZ and stuff. He does mostly local news, but he may have a little more insight on the Diddy stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Jeffrey?
It's Jeffrey Rogers.
Hello, Jeffrey Rogers. First of all, Jeffrey Rogers, I was down at the Monroe County Jail today, and I know you had just been there for a hot minute. Is everything okay?
Yeah.
It's
yeah. So I was arrested on 2 charges: criminal possession of a weapon, which is a taser, which that case is going forward to be dismissed. There's also another one, driving with suspended license, which I did have acknowledged that it was suspended, but it was getting handled within the next couple of days. But unfortunately, I ran into a situation where I was at the hospital visiting my father, who was ill at the time, and I bumped into a curb, which caused them to run my plate and then tried to say my taser was illegal. I've been arrested several times on the taser occasion where the case has been dismissed. But for the suspended license, totally my fault. I'm going to own up to that, because that was just me not taking care of my responsibilities. That was due to because I had missed traffic court, which caused my license to be suspended. So that is being handled. And, there's a lot of rumors out there.
Yeah, not to justify
There's rumors
that.
out there saying.
I was going to say.
Right, not to justify it at all.
No, what I was going to say is not to justify it, but I have had the same thing when I was young, where I missed a court date or something and my license was suspended. I think I drove around once and got pulled over. I think I was married and had 2 kids in the back of the car, and I was told your license has been suspended. You can't drive. So I had to switch seats and become a passenger and let somebody else drive, or they were towing the car there, and I had car seats and everything. So my point to bringing that up is this does happen to people, to anybody, and you got to stay on top of it. There's no real excuse, right, Jeffrey? I've been there.
Exactly, right. And that was sort of my fault for just being irresponsible. But those matters will be handled because obviously, driving is my job. Like I drive to news stories, so I want to make sure that this is handled and nobody can have an excuse to arrest me. For the taser thing, very unnecessary to take my taser and then my mace and my pocket knife, then to try to bring up some previous things that have been handled in court already. That was inappropriate for the U of R public safety to even bring that up and do what they do. So they may get the cruiser and all that stuff. And I mean, it is what it is, The taser thing, it will be dismissed in court. It was already told to me. That was just inappropriate. That was very inappropriate and wrong. But hey, we are not going to make excuses. I still have a job to get done. I'm still out here reporting in the community, and that's just that. You know.
All right. Now let's switch away from our community and let's talk about this P. Diddy situation because there's a lot of people saying many, many things, like almost a sex slavery with some women. Some allegations of homosexuality. There's a guy who was on TikTok who said he was at Diddy and his rap career was blown up and he wanted to leave Bad Boy Records, and he was at a party and he woke up and he felt like a shoe had been shoved up his butt, and he says to Diddy, hey, listen, I want to leave, and Diddy puts on a big screen and there is basically this guy roofied and being anally raped. I'm sorry to be so graphic, and the guy
Diddy has. Yeah, so Diddy has had several allegations over the years, over at least the last 3 years. He's had allegations. Now, mind you, he just had a civil court case where a woman said he was basically raped.
Yeah.
And I think she did win that case. Now, the feds have gone and raided nearly every single property that Diddy owns just a few days ago, including Florida and New York City. And they did it all at the same time. Now, with that being said, I'm not sure if he's in custody at this time. There is rumors of him going around the city saying that he is in custody. That is not the case. There has been no public records of him being taken into custody. But what I can tell you is that there are several people who have come forward and say that they have been sexually assaulted. And even he said it in his video quickly. He said, quote unquote, there's a lot of sexual things in the music industry. He said that in one of his videos in an interview that he did about 2 years ago. So these are serious allegations, and the feds do not come in unless they have enough evidence. So at this point, they probably do have enough evidence to go ahead and take Diddy into custody. There's also a young person who used to play for Syracuse University who was also taken into custody. He was then bailed out. We're hearing by Diddy. That has not have enough evidence to confirm that at this time, but we're hearing about that as well. So this is all a lot of rumors, but the feds have not released what they are actually looking for in Diddy's home. That's something that I'm interested in looking into and what they were actually looking for, because there's a lot of things about him sex trafficking kids. Neighbors have come out and said it's a huge case, and I think he definitely will be charged in the coming days.
A charge, but then if he's in Barbuda, where we're told he is, and they can't extradite him back from that province or that state.
Well, the feds going to work. The feds, listen, you can't hide from the feds. They're going to work. So, they're going to work and get him back here. I'm pretty sure that he will be extradited in some type of way or form, whether he comes back on his own, but he can't run from the feds that long. And he's probably just getting his things together. He did sell off all of his shares from his company that he was a part of. He did sell that. And so this is all looking suspicious. You know what I mean?
What happens to C-Rock? Isn't that him?
Yeah, it's his vodka, right?
Vodka, yeah.
So he's like selling off everything, and it's becoming suspicious. I don't know if he's getting his legal money ready or getting ready to be taken into custody, but it's very suspicious. And these allegations, sexual trafficking, and I hate to say this, but he's looking like the Black Epstein at this point. He's definitely looking like the Black Epstein.
All right, so you bring that up because we hear different connections of things, right? We hear connections of Jamie Foxx, and is there something there? There was another connection with somebody else that I had heard of, a case where I'm like, I'm not sure about any of that stuff.
I think this is almost similar to just like the Epstein case. I think it's very similar.
You do
100%, and I'm not letting go. This is
yeah. I wonder if he's ever been to Epstein Island himself. Do we have any record of that? Because I mean, if that's the kind of creepiness he was into, birds of a feather, right?
I did hear that they did communicate.
Yeah.
There's also pictures of with Epstein out there, so I mean, they could have communicated about some things, which is also very interesting.
Yeah, what were you gonna say, Danny?
Well, there's a guy named Dom Luker. I don't know if you follow him, Jeffrey, on Twitter. He's considered a breaker of narratives, and a lot of the stuff he has reported has actually surfaced. And one of the things that has surfaced, there's a lawsuit out there against the CEO of Universal Music Group, Lucian Grange, considered the most powerful man in music. He's named as an accomplice in the Diddy sex trafficking lawsuit for alleged claims aiding, abetting, and including Puffy to run a sex trafficking ring. And the details go there. Then he also talks about, you mentioned 50 Cent earlier, and how 50 Cent is actually trying to sue to get custody of his kid back because his ex has some type of connections to Diddy as well. 50 Cent can't stand Diddy.
No, he can't.
He hates him.
Well, he talked about he was at some party and he came up to him and he's like, hey, we should go shopping sometime. He's like, shopping?
Yeah, right.
It's like, that was the greatest.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying some outfits. It's funny.
Yeah, 50 Cent is seeking sole custody of his ex's son. He and his ex's son, Daphne Joy's son, because she is named as a sex worker in Diddy's lawsuit or whatever. So I mean, it's just. Whew.
How big a story is this in? And I am going to say it this way, Jeffrey, in the black community. I mean, we there's a company now that has the Black News Network. So I'm just wondering, this is a big deal, as you're saying he's the Black Epstein.
I think so. I mean, these are serious allegations. I mean, there's not going to be this many allegations and not none of them are true. I mean, there are people who come forward and victims, and mind you, he just lost a lawsuit a couple of years ago from the young lady who claimed that he raped her. That is serious.
Oh, they settled it really quick.
Yeah.
Like, wasn't there something recently where it was like all of a sudden it evaporated? Like, they settled immediately as soon as the accusations came out?
Say it again?
There was a recent lawsuit where he was accused of something, and the lawsuit immediately got settled. Like,
lady.
Yeah, okay.
It was a lady who had been raped.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll see where all this goes, but it's certainly, as you're saying, Jeffrey, right? You can't have all these accusations and nothing's going on. Something's going on, and there's too much. There's too much stuff. But
not like a bunch of people.
Do you think he's in some way, I don't want to say responsible, but in some way involved in Jamie Foxx? Because that's another one I'm hearing when Jamie wound up in the hospital with it.
So I'm not going to say that one because I don't have enough proof or evidence for that one.
Right. But those are the rumors. You're hearing those as well.
Those are rumors. I'm hearing those rumors, but I don't know if there's enough proof or evidence for those ones.
Yeah. All right.
But I got to ask this question, though.
Like a bad dude.
Of all the people in rap music, right? Diddy, all of his songs, nobody looks at Diddy and goes, yeah, man, that's an awesome rapper. He's great. He's fantastic.
I thought it was more of a...
He is more of a producer, but it's like all of his stuff that he produces is off other people's music.
Yeah.
Like he can't come up with an original tune on his own. He's got to sample
why
everybody
don't you throw
else.
That on there now, too, because there's all these other things that he's already...
I mean, I don't understand what makes him, what makes him so high and mighty. I don't get it. Jay-Z, I get. I'm not a fan of his either. But did he really? It's like I always thought he was just like a pretender.
What do you say to that, Jeffrey? Do you think he's a pretender?
Well, I think I always thought Diddy was suspicious because the way, I mean, even looking at the Biggie case, I mean, all that is just suspicious, and a lot of people in the black community already didn't trust him. I mean, his reputation wasn't good already.
Yeah.
He was known for scamming and being a fraud.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Well, I appreciate you giving us some time tonight. Did you have a nice meal with the fam?
Yeah, I had a delicious meal, and I just came from Niagara Falls, so yeah.
All right, good. And
how's your dad?
Did you talk about? He's out the hospital. He's doing well now. He
Praise the
had
Lord.
some things that he just got medications. But did you guys talk about the bomb investigation
Yeah, like
downtown already?
yeah,
Or?
there was on. Oh, I forgot where.
No,
that
we
was.
have not. Why don't you fill us in? You know what? And since you're on here, news of the day with you and Danny, because I missed out on a couple things. Tell us about the bomb.
So the bomb situation, the FBI didn't really, the FBI really doesn't release much information, but we do know that around this afternoon they shut down those roads in 215 Andrew Street was evacuated,
Fitzhugh?
and they haven't released much information, which is interesting. And I had
Andrew
a photographer on scene getting details, but they haven't released much information. No suspects are in custody, and it has reopened to the public. So this is interesting.
Yeah. So, but
They did.
was it a bomb scare, you think? Just a scare?
I mean, they had a lot of equipment out there. They had a warrant, so that's what it was. They had a
Oh.
court-ordered warrant, and so that's where it gets interesting. Like, did they know this for a while? Somebody, because it takes a little bit of time to get a warrant.
Yeah. All right. So we don't know much about that, but that was around the Blue Cross Arena area?
Andrew Street.
No, it was on Andrew Street in St. Paul.
St. Paul.
Not
it's St.
that
Paul.
close.
Okay, a little further down. And then talk to me about, and because I did not pay attention to this, but Danny brought it up. Post worker being assaulted, a mailman or mailwoman being assaulted on Park and Culver.
Yeah, so suspect is in custody after robbing or attempting to rob a United States postal worker just around 10 a.m. this morning. He was then taken into custody.
Okay, so did they get anything? I mean, it sounds like they got the person pretty quickly then.
Get anything? Let me read the email for you actually while I'm here. Let me see if because I just was looking at it not too long ago. Hold on one second. Going through my emails. Okay.
Park and Culver.
Oh, there it is. Okay, so it says just around 10 a.m., Goodman section officers responded to the area of Culver Road and East Avenue for a report of a robbery. When officers spoke to the victim, which is a United States Postal Service carrier, she stated that she was confronted by a male who then had his hand in his coat as he had a weapon. She was fearing a drop all the mail and then ran off.
Whoa.
He was then confronted by other citizens who then said he fled on foot. He was then taken into custody by Rochester police officers, and no one was injured.
How do these other citizens step in? That's some balls,
Yeah.
right? Because you don't know. You don't know,
No.
right? You kind of put yourself on risk.
You know what they're
So a lot of
carrying?
people were cooperating with police, and when you have a community who is cooperating with police, a community becomes much safer.
Yes.
And so that's something that you really don't see much in the inner city.
Right.
And so that I'm actually surprised, and I'm actually excited that this is happening. The suspect was taken into custody.
All right. Any other news today?
Not so far. No breaking news.
All right. Well, Jeffrey Rogers with GSL News. Check him out online. How do I find Jeffrey Rogers on GSL News again?
GSLnews.com or GSL News on all social media.
Okay. All right, Jeffrey. Good luck with everything and stay out of trouble, will you?
All righty, I'll try.
We'll see you later,
See
Jeffrey.
you in the next.
All right, bye-bye. There he goes. There it is.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
It's
whole-
only March 29th, Billy.
Well, I was kind of, like the Diddy thing is really sort of interesting to me because you're hearing a lot of the, homosexual references made towards him. And I say it that way because it's really frowned upon still in the black community.
Yeah, and there's talks about him being tight with T.D. Jakes, the black minister, who's also been caught, with dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ties to this. The phrase, when there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah.
Or where there's smoke, there's fire.
Right. That's going to be his next song.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah.
It's just,
Oh, gosh. It's
somebody
2024,
Somebody
guys.
showed Tom Brady at a news conference, like looking over and smiling as somebody walks in, and they go, "This is the look R. Kelly has as P. Diddy walks into the Terrible. All right, Danny, why don't we, what do you want to add? Constitutional amendments, I know you have, but was there anything else that we've missed?
No, not really.
Okay.
Not really. It's opening day of baseball season today.
Yeah. Your Yankees came back, yeah.
A lot of stuff going on.
All right, give me your, Danny has constitutional amendments.
It's like Bill Maher's new rules.
Yes, I know. He rips off Bill Maher's rules.
Yes.
So, but these aren't, though. These are your thoughts. These are your things. And so we like to.
Just a couple.
Yes.
Just a couple this week.
Okay, here we
When
go.
I go to the gym.
Oops, sorry.
This is a sports one.
Yeah.
So the NFL draft's coming up. In less than a month, the NFL draft's coming up. Right now, as of right now, the Buffalo Bills have 11 picks. Right now, a lot of quarterbacks are jockeying for position according to the media, on where they'll be drafted, right? But constitutional amendment. If you want to declare yourself any type of NFL draft expert, whether you're in the media or you're actually working for an NFL team, you need to take a one-question lie detector test. And that is this. Did you believe in Josh Allen before the 2018 draft? If you fail the test, or if the answer is no, you do not get to participate in any NFL draft talks, and I will start with myself right there because I did not believe in Joshua Patrick Allen.
Everybody said we took the wrong Josh.
The only two people actually who publicly came out in defense of Josh Allen were Mel Kiper Jr., who's gotten a lot of crap over the years for his draft picks, even though he was the original godfather of draft nicking, and Chris Sims. Of NBC Sports.
Look at this.
He believed in Josh Allen quite a bit. And he also believed in Lamar Jackson, too.
Okay.
And they're the two quarterbacks.
Well, he was not wrong.
They were the best in that draft.
Yeah.
So, and constitutional amendment. Due to all the bad news that's happening in this area, or maybe all across America, but now a mailman was roughed up today. A mailman, folks. So
a woman, as it turned out.
Or it was a woman, yeah. So forget what I said last week about giving Monroe County back to the Native Americans. I have a better idea. Let's make Sheriff Baxter king of Monroe County.
Yes.
Let him rule over us as an honorable king under one condition. He has to fulfill his term. In other words, he can't just leave after 2 years to run for lieutenant governor. If you know, you know.
All right. Very good. Is that it?
Those are my constitutional amendments.
Very good. Have a wonderful Easter. He has risen.
He is risen. Happy Resurrection Sunday. He's risen. Get to an evangelical church on Sunday, folks.
That's right. And
not a Catholic church.
For John Link, who had us tasting some wine, for Dan Mason, for JD, for Jeffrey Rogers, I'm Bill Moran. We'll see you Monday.
I turned the TV on and wrote a letter to you. The news was talking about a dragnet up on the